Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we cut through the noise and get straight to the insights that truly matter. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the latest in artificial intelligence for episode 183 of the AI Brief. I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah. It's great to be here. The AI landscape is, well, it's moving incredibly fast, and we've got some really pivotal developments to unpack today.
Exactly. Our mission is to give you a clear, concise understanding of what's happening in AI right now.
Helping you navigate the innovations and, yeah, the challenges shaping our digital future.
Absolutely. So today, we're peeling back the layers on some big headlines. We're talking about a high-profile legal clash shaking up a major AI hardware partnership.
And revolutionary leaps in voice assistants, too.
Right, and even how our online identity might be verified, in this world increasingly full of bots. We'll also cover a range of other significant updates and highlight some top AI tools designed to genuinely boost your productivity.
It's really a snapshot of a field where innovation is pushing boundaries, but also clashing with existing legal structures, forcing us to redefine how we interact and maybe even our sense of what's real.
Okay, let's kick things off with a story that's really sending ripples through the AI world. It's about the planned I/O hardware partnership. The one between OpenAI and OpenAI's design firm, Lovefrom.
Yes, the hardware play.
Well, it looks like they've had to abruptly pull promotional materials for their much-anticipated $6.5 billion acquisition of IVE's AI hardware startup, also named IO.
Pulled them? Wow.
Yeah, this sudden move comes directly after a court order. It's tied to a trademark dispute with a seemingly smaller player.
Right. That's IYO, the startup that spun out of Google x Google's moonshot factory. What's really compelling here is the alleged backstory. IYO has been developing hardware for interacting with devices and AI without screens.
Without screens.
Exactly. Their main product, the IYO one, it's a pair of AI-powered earbuds. They call it a computer without a screen, runs apps via voice. And the court filing suggests Sam Altman and Lovefrom actually met with IYO back in 2022.
Beforehand.
Yes, and apparently, again, just before the IO announcement earlier this year, it definitely raises questions about what they knew about the IOIO trademark.
So OpenAI, they've removed their blog post, a whole 9-minute promo video.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant for them. But they're publicly saying the acquisition is still on track. They even called the complaint utterly baseless. Feels like high-stakes stuff.
It certainly does. Look, this trademark issue might not kill the whole deal. Big acquisitions often budget for legal fights. But the alleged details like Lovefrom employees supposedly buying the IYO device, asking for details, then launching with a nearly identical name, well, it challenges that pure innovation narrative OpenAI likes.
Yeah, it complicates things.
It really underscores the tricky business of IP in such a fast-moving field. Even a small slip can cause big legal headaches and public scrutiny.
Okay, so from those foundational disputes, let's pivot to some new capabilities. Things changing how we interact with tech, specifically through voice. ElevenLabs, they're already known for incredibly realistic speech models. Now they've debuted a new voice assistant, ElevenAI.
And this isn't just about asking, what's the weather?
Right.
No, this is a big step up. ElevenAI connects to tools using Anthropic's Model Context Protocol. That's basically a standard way for AI to talk to different software and data sources. So it's designed to actually execute tasks.
Execute tasks, okay.
Their experimental alpha release already works with things like Perplexity, Linear, Slack, Notion. So you can manage complex workflows just using your voice. Developers can add custom connections too, and it has over 5,000 voice options plus voice cloning.
That sounds like a huge leap. We've all used assistants that, frankly, don't do much beyond simple commands. What does this functional capability actually unlock?
Well, it's a fundamental shift in what a voice assistant is. Older systems, mostly information recall, basic commands. With ElevenAI, you combine that great speech generation with the power to take action across your tools, access real-time data. It's about genuine utility.
So like telling it to summarize something in Notion or assign a task in Slack.
Exactly. Verbally delegating tasks, getting summaries, searching specific info, all with voice. It pushes voice from a novelty into potentially a really powerful interface for complex work, streamlining productivity in a way we haven't really seen before.
Speaking of future interactions, especially with all the bots out there, Reddit is reportedly looking at Sam Altman's World ID for human verification.
Ah, the iris scanning orbs.
Yeah, sounds pretty sci-fi, but they're apparently negotiating with Tools for Humanity to integrate it. The goal, Prove you're human, but stay anonymous.
This is a direct shot at the dead internet theory, right? The worry that bots will just overrun everything online, especially social media. World ID offers this optional verification via encrypted iris scans, but critically, it fragments the biometric data across servers.
Fragments it. How does that help anonymity?
The idea is to assign a cryptographic proof of humanness, basically a unique code saying this is a real unique person, without storing your actual identifiable data. Reddit's CEO has hinted at this, needing something stronger than email checks to fight AI accounts, but wanting to keep user anonymity, though it currently blocks under 18s from scanning.
So Reddit would be the first major U.S. social platform trying biometric verification like this, beyond just email checks. But iris scanning? That immediately brings up privacy flags for people. How do they build trust?
That's the million-dollar question. World ID's tech tries to address it by not linking your scan to your identity directly. It generates a unique code, a hash, from the scan. That hash is then broken up and stored decentrally. No single place has your full identifiable iris scan. It's about proving you're a unique human, not which human. But yeah, success hinges on transparency and rock-solid security. Public perception around biometrics is understandably cautious. It's a bold move, but it shows how critical identity solutions are becoming.
Okay, shifting from verification back to innovation itself, we often talk about the gap, right, between brilliant academic AI research and getting it into the real world.
The infamous valley of death for good ideas.
Exactly. Well, Databricks and Perplexity co-founder Andy Kowinski is tackling this head-on. He's launching a new nonprofit, the Laud Institute. The goal is to give academics the infrastructure, the support to tune research into actual products.
This is incredibly important. That gap is a real bottleneck. Amazing discoveries can just sit in papers because academics don't have the resources or the commercial know-how to scale them. Konwinski's putting serious money behind it, $100 million of his own. And he's got big names on board, like Turing Award winner David Patterson, Jeff Dean from Google DeepMind.
Heavy hitters.
Definitely. It's not just about funding. It's about accelerating that whole translation process, getting fundamental AI research into tangible solutions, potentially much faster.
All right, finally in this section, let's touch on something really cutting edge, personal well-being. Imagine relaxing your brain like a muscle. A startup called Sanmai Technologies is working on that, with backing from folks like Reid Hoffman. They just raised $12 million for a helmet that uses AI and precise ultrasound on your brain.
Ultrasound on the brain, wow. The potential here is pretty remarkable. The tech aims to help with conditions like epilepsy, depression, chronic pain, by modulating brain activity using low-intensity, non-invasive ultrasound.
Non-invasive is key there.
Absolutely. And there's an AI companion integrated into the helmet. It guides users through treatments, learns what works best for them individually. Now, there are maybe 20-plus companies looking at brain-computer interfaces, but Sanmai stands out. It's totally non-invasive, low-intensity ultrasound. That means, much lower risk of major side effects compared to more invasive methods.
That sounds like a potential game changer for accessibility and safety. If it works, it opens a whole new non-drug path for mental and neurological conditions. They're aiming for under $500 too. That would make it way more accessible than rivals. How far along are they?
They've started testing for anxiety, apparently with promising early results, and they're talking to the FDA, pursuing regulatory approval. It's definitely a long game, but the vision is a personalized at-home therapy option. Could really transform how we think about brain health. It's a fascinating use of AI for enhancing our own capabilities.
So those were the major headlines driving the conversation. But the AI landscape is always buzzing. Let's quickly touch on some other notable developments. There are strategic moves happening right now.
Yeah, a lot going on. Everything from IP fights to geopolitics to new models.
Disney, for instance. They've been talking to companies like OpenAI about licensing their characters, their IP. But at the same time, they're suing firms like Midjourney. So it's a complex strategy: engage, but also defend aggressively.
Makes sense. Then there's a claim from a U.S. official about DeepSeek, the Chinese AI company, allegedly working with the Chinese government on military and intelligence ops, and supposedly using workarounds to get advanced AI chips. Highlights the whole global tech race and security aspect.
On a creative side, Google released Magenta Real-Time. It's an open-source live music AI, kind of a cousin to their Lyria model. Lets users create and blend music live, even on regular computers. More accessible music creation.
And Meta reportedly met with several AI startups, Runway, SSI, Thinking Machines, Perplexity, possibly looking at acquisitions. No deals came out of it, apparently, but it shows Meta's actively looking to maybe buy up capabilities, eyeing consolidation.
Meanwhile, SoftBank's Masayoshi Son is pitching this huge idea, Crystal Land, a billion-dollar hub for AI and robotics manufacturing in Arizona. He's trying to woo big chip players like TSMC and Samsung, building a big AI supply chain there.
And finally, Microsoft debuted Moo. That's a new small language model. It's designed for agentic tasks in Windows Copilot plus PCs. Runs efficiently right on your device, not always needing the cloud.
Okay, let's wrap up our insights today with some trending AI tools, things that could actually boost your productivity right now.
Yeah, these really show the practical side. Innovations hitting the market, solving real problems.
First, the DeepGram Voice Agent API. This helps developers build really responsive, production-ready voice agents. Think natural-sounding customer service bots. Then there's Kimi Researcher from Moonshot AI, a new research agent designed to streamline digging through papers and data.
Voice designed by Minimax is another one. It's a customizable, multilingual voice generator, good for creators needing diverse voiceovers. And Mistral Small 3.2 got an update. Better instruction following, fewer errors, makes it a more reliable base for AI apps.
For creators, Bookster looks interesting. Transforms your notes or knowledge into ebooks quickly. For businesses, Docet automates bookkeeping using AI, helps small businesses save time on finances, and EasySite lets you build websites or apps with no code.
Developers might check out Async for high-quality text-to-speech integration. And lastly, Claro. It's an AI assistant aimed at streamlining business decisions, execution, and growth, offering data-driven insights.
So as we look back at everything today,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway? What does this all mean for you navigating this space?
Well, this deep dive really highlights the dual nature of AI's impact, doesn't it? On one hand, these incredibly powerful new capabilities are changing how we interact with tech, even our own health. But at the same time, we're facing these fundamental challenges, identity, authenticity, IP, in this increasingly AI-driven world.
Absolutely. It's not just fast. It's this complex mix. Legal fights over names 1 minute, brain massaging helmets next. It's definitely a wild ride.
It really pushes us to think about a profound question, I believe. As AI keeps blurring the lines between human and artificial, as it reshapes how we see reality, how will each of us choose to define our own digital existence? How do we navigate that?
That is a really thought-provoking idea to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. If you found this discussion valuable, please make sure to follow the AI brief wherever you get your listening done, and share it with others who want to stay well informed.
We really appreciate you being with us today.
Until next time.